Hey y'all, welcome back to Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural southeast Ohio, USA. Thanks for joining me on our YouTube channel, Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. I'm Melissa and we're glad that you're here. Hope you're having an excellent day. It's February 10th, 2024. We're going to go in and look at the production red pullets, take a look at how they're growing. And before we step in there, I want to peek around the corner of this little building of theirs. So they're in basically the end of a shed that we've put an exterior wall into. This little building has been here probably at least 20 years. So we've kept a variety of animals in it. In fact, it was originally built for a horse that I had, and we had some area fenced in here for that horse to have a turnout, and it was a riding horse, so it got exercised daily. But now we use this end of it as a move-in shed for chickens. So typically pullets or chicks will move into this end, but right here behind the shed we want to put just in this area here between where I'm standing and the next little fenced off area there, we let the currently laying hens go out into that little chicken run. So we want to just fence this in for a small little chicken run, also to let these pullets out because they basically forfeited their privileges for free ranging about 4 days ago. So I'll let you know how they managed that. But what we'll end up being able to do is actually this, I think y'all can see this piece of this panel right here is actually cut out of the wall. So we can unscrew that, unfasten it, and take it off the wall, and they'll have free access in and out. And so maybe we'll bring the fence hopefully into like the wall here. And then we've got a panel that's it's not like chicken wire or hog guard, but it's the squares and small squares so that we can actually put a panel like that in here for overnight to keep predators out. so we are going to go in. There's some of the gals right there. The lighting may get a little crazy as we step in and the camera has to adjust, and it's not a super great camera, so we just bear with it. But hey, this is the group of production red pullets. So there's 32 of them. They're basically an egg production hybrid based on the genetics of Rhode Island Reds. And so these birds would have come from chick production from Mount Healthy Hatchery around Cincinnati, Ohio. And we did not procure this group as chicks. Actually, a friend of ours, she kind of has a routine and an operation of being able to get chicks and raise them and keep them to like the point of lay or maybe till they are laying and then sell them. And so in this case, our friend had actually started these chicks, and I hope my memory's not failing me. I do think these chicks were hatched the end of October, so we got a little ways to go, I think, on getting them to the point of lay. I think we're a little over anxious for that, but at any rate, if they were end of October, if that's the reference point on age, might as well count November as the first full month. So November, December, January, so 3 full months old, so that'd be 12 full weeks. And it's February 10th, so we're almost a couple weeks into February. So about 14 weeks of age probably is the reference point I'm thinking is correct on these hens. And we actually got 12 of them, I think like the beginning of January, and then the other 20 a couple more weeks into January. So we've been, and they all came from the same friend that raised them from chicks. So she would have got them from the hatchery. So 32 production reds. And the deal with this group is they are going to either be an addition to our egg production flock or the replacement hens for the current egg production flock. So with the egg production chickens, we currently have 33 active layers, and with these 32, like I said, we've got an option there. We can either keep those older ones and keep them in production and then just, like expand the flock, or we can rehome those. These two birds right in front of us, I want to talk about this real quick. So the one further away from us, we don't see much of her comb or wattles. The one closer to us, we're starting to see more red and more prominence. Of course, she put her head down in the comb and starting to see a little bit more development in the wattles. So that is an indicator that we are getting closer to the point of lay, at least in this hen with the more prominence and more color in her comb and wattles. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video with young hens, is some of the easy points of observation that we can gather from being around our young pullets as they're approaching the point of lay. So we really are seeing some of the red develop in the comb and seeing the comb become more filled in, more prominent, and more noticeable on this one, and seeing a little more red in the area of the wattles. So we'll gradually start to see that more and more throughout the flock, more uniformly, and that is indicating that, hey, you know, the hormones for getting these gals to be in egg production are kicking in. Sorry, had some unexpected visitors pulling at my shirt seam to see what was going on. So we are seeing a little bit of that. So if you have young hens, you know, that's one of the easy points of observation that you can kind of tell, hey, we're getting closer to egg production here, kind of seeing it in that one closer to the wall there as compared to the one in front of her. So thinking back to, I said, well, probably our point of reference on age is probably 14 weeks. So really wouldn't expect these hens to lay any earlier than 18 to 20 weeks. Have y'all had production reds? What experience do you have with that? Our overall observation, and do you think this is true? I would be interested in your feedback on this too. Our overall observation is the breeds or types that are more like hybrids, and the more specialized they are for egg production, the earlier they start laying eggs. And then the breeds that are like more heritage breed, more dual purpose breed, not hybrids, you know, that go back to like heritage genetic stock, it seems like they tend to lay eggs at a later age. So, you know, like I'm thinking of, like, we've had Orpingtons that didn't lay eggs until like 7 or 8 months. And we have those Isa Browns now. They literally started laying like clockwork at 4 months old. So, you know, so these production reds, we were told 18 to 20 weeks is pretty typical. So that would be 4.5 to 5 months old. So we're getting there. So one thing here that we might have pushed the schedule on slightly, we went ahead and moved these birds over to layer mash. So the reason we did that is we had grower formula for them. So grower formula is like around maybe 19% protein compared to layer mash formula that's probably around 15 to 16% protein. So we had grower formula and we used it all up, and during January we had this layer mash milled for our current egg layers. We'd had it milled out of grain that the farm that we're associated with through my husband's side of the family had produced. So we had 1,000 pounds of layer mash. So we decided to go ahead and move these birds over to layer mash as well. So let us know, you know, your thoughts on that if you want to. So they probably could have stayed on a grower formula longer and had the higher protein, but we went ahead and switched them over, and they're still growing very well. The protein's not as high, the calcium's higher, so you know, time will tell. We'll see how it works out. But anyway, so hopefully they'll be laying soon. We do want to get the feeder lifted a little, blocked up a little more, and need to do the same thing with the water across the board universally with chickens. What do y'all think of this tip? We feel like if we can get the height of the tray in the water dispenser and in the feed dispenser to the height of the bird's back, that's better. For our meat production birds, it's better because it keeps them standing when they're eating. So it keeps them bearing weight on their legs and builds up their musculoskeletal strength throughout production. But even for our egg production birds and these pullets, we feel like we see less waste of the feed when we have those trays raised up to the height of their back, less waste of the water when we do that. And a great watering idea, sometime we'll have to do a video on, or y'all give us feedback on. We love the hanging waters made out of 5-gallon buckets, and you can kind of do some minor fabricating on the bottom of those and insert water nipple dispenser hardware in there, and you can hang it like on, you know, a chain like that, and hang it high enough that your hens can be reaching right up at the bottom of it and drinking from it. These hens, these pullets have had this flock block. It's like a snack block for hens. They have zero interest in it at all. I think we're going to move it over to the active laying flock. So anyway, so hopefully this weekend we're getting them a small outdoor run. Hey, thanks for joining us. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up with the production reds. Actually going to try to do another video today on our active layer flock and a short video on our feed, how we had that made up. So thanks for joining us. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, and please join us again. We hope y'all have an excellent weekend. God bless you. Now look, there's one making a liar of me. She was just nibbling at the flock block. Hey, thanks y'all. Join us again, please. We appreciate you.